Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Lois, and welcome back to Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Expert Mode Skyblock. In the last episode, we were working on a bunch of different things. One of the things we were working on is blood magic. We're trying to get blood. That was actually the episode before, I do believe. What were we doing last time? We were making, the Bow of the Wyvern and doing some Draconic Evolution stuff, I think. Oh, right. I remember now. We set up the Super Sifter. That's what we did. This thing, which I went ahead and starting to import both the Electrotine that we're after, as well as the Crushed Uranium ore. Also, I realized I should have put the Quicksilver up here. Oh well. I've been collecting a lot of ore sand, and all this stuff I've been putting in a chest over here and grinding it up. As you can see, it's kind of backed up our system, but that's okay. There is a lot of stuff that we're actually able to use. But yeah, things are going pretty well there. I've expanded this thing quite a bit. Actually had a little bit of issues. I think I was double connected and using twice the channels with this interface guy. So that was kind of bad, but one of these days we're going to move this thing over here. I'm going to expand it considerably. That's something I will do off camera because honestly, I don't think you guys want to see that. And, you know, just get plenty of auto crafting recipes and all that kind of stuff set up. I did add enough that we could add a few more add some of the stuff we had before back to it. And before we get into too much today, there's two things I want to do. But beforehand, I want to show off that I have 15 million LP. Exactly enough to do the ritual that we need to do, which is awesome. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to summon demons today. We're going to do that very far away from the base. But before we get to that, we have enough Electrotine that I want to make some stuff. So if we look at solar panels, I want to make one of these advanced solar cores. And I also want to make a resonant solar panel so that we can teach the system how to make the next tier. And once we get 8 of the next tier, I think. Let's see. We're going to be getting advanced. We'll need 8 of those to make an ultimate, and the ultimates are, well, really powerful. They generate 32,000 RF per tick. It's very, well, expensive for what it's worth, but at the end of the day, like, it does make a ton of stuff. The big problem is going to be it's going to require a good bit of crafting to make all this stuff. But we should have everything, actually. It just has to craft it all. So, while we wait on that, I want to talk about something else. So I have an idea, and if this works, it is a horrible dupe, and I probably should not take advantage of it at all. But at the same time, it's something that if we wanted to do this, we could. And would be really powerful, to be honest. So, let's grab a safari net. Now, I'm not going to claim to be the first person to think of this, but because I know I'm not. But this is something that is a clever idea, if I do say so myself, and it is going to be interesting to see how well it works. So, first of all, let's get rid of these eggs. I hate eggs. I hate the chickens. They drop eggs and I pick them up all the time. So let's talk about, first of all, what spurred this. If we want to make the Galgadorian metal that we're going to need about 30 of these to begin with. That's going to cost us. We almost have all of the obsidian. Slime balls will be probably slime balls or gas tiers will probably be the next thing we set up, which is something we're gonna do probably today. Actually, we can make 100 of this. I just want to show this off. We can make 100 of this. I will set this up later, but I finally got enough reinforced stone for all of that, and just kind of getting all of the different resources together. So I'm going to let that go ahead and process. But yeah, so we're going to need a ton of diamonds, like 5,000 more diamonds than we already have in order to make the 30 blocks of Galgadorian metal that we're going to need for the first creative energy cell. We're going to need, I want to make at least, we're going to probably need about 9 of those in total. So that's a ton of diamonds. Now, diamonds are actually kind of a pain to get. We could get diamond ore from the laser drill. That is perfectly acceptable and honestly might be something we want to do. I mean, we are getting some diamond ore. I have this set up to specifically... Is this running at all? You know, we should go ahead and let this run just a little bit. I mean, we have the power for it, so might as well. So we have a good bit of diamond ore, which we can use to get, let's see, 2 diamonds from pulverizing. Yeah, so we'll need a lot of diamond ore to do much of anything with it, but you kind of get the idea with that. Like, diamonds are a valid way to get, or the laser drill is a valid way to get diamonds. It's not that bad. One of these machines sounds really weird currently, so we're going to get away from that. Now, the other ways to get diamonds, we can always do agricraft, and specifically, we might want to look into the phytogenic insulator. Growing crops in a machine. This would give us 3 diamond nuggets each, like, go-around. 150% chance to get our diamond seeds back. So we'll get more seeds eventually. And all in all, like, this would be really good. Although growing them like so isn't a bad idea either. Because these give 4 each, which is a little bit better. But we could also use bees. The Diamandi bees are probably the best option, which these are not that hard to make. Austere and Auric. Auric are Imperial and Plumbum, which are, I should probably go the other way, which are Stanum and Common, which are Industrious and Forest, so that's easy enough. And then if we want the Austere, it is just Modest and Frugal, which I think we have both of those. So all of those are not too terrible to get, and we can get a lot of bees, a lot of production upgrades and whatnot, and that would be a valid way to get diamonds as well. But otherwise, like, the best way I can find is to sift, and that's unfortunate. So what is this duplication idea? So with this, I considered, well, zombies. If we... Do I have any zombies? I actually don't know if I do or not. Yes, I do. Alright, perfect. So is this currently off? It is. So if we went ahead and spawned some zombies, what we could do, and like I said, I don't want to necessarily do this, we could equip it with diamond armor. Is there any of this stuff that I don't really care about? We could also give them, like, blocks of diamonds. So zombies are able to... Oh, right. I forgot. So zombies were in items. So let's see. Will you hold my block of diamond? I mean, that one will. So he's holding a shovel. So let's see. Let's fly up, drop a diamond. Oh no. They're after my villagers, I think. So will you hold this? Come on, walk over it. will you pick up items? No, you will not. Alright, so that's not the zombie we want. But basically, zombies should have a chance. I don't know if this is patched or anything like that. I don't know how they would patch it to begin with. But if we just throw a diamond down. And you know what? Let's do it this way. Don't break my door. Oh no. That went back into the system. Let's just grab another diamond block. Why are they standing there? So will any of these guys grab the diamond? So this might not actually work. In which case, I mean that's a dupe that's removed. So the other option is, let's grab some armor of some sort. Let's grab a chest plate. I mean, we have an iron chest plate. So let's repair this guy. And I want to see if this works more than anything else. So let's do something like this. Nope, nope, nope. Ah, it's gone. Alright, this is taking a lot longer than I expected to figure this out. It'll take it a second to get back into the system. There it is. Alright, let's shut that door. And let's come up here. And will any of you guys wear the diamond chest plate? Maybe this was patched. Okay. Well, I wanted to test it anyways. So, doesn't seem like it's gonna work. And that's okay. So the idea was, if we could get a zombie to hold an item, such as, like, a diamond chest plate or something, we could then spawn in zombies, all wearing diamond chest plates, get 100% drops, and then we would have basically infinite diamonds. That doesn't seem to be the case. That does seem patched out. I'm not going to test it thoroughly because I don't anticipate using it. I just wanted to see if it would work. That was the biggest thing. So, it doesn't look like it's going to work, and that's okay. So, we should have by now our solar panel. And we do, so we should be able to go ahead and tell the system how to make the next tier. Like I said, that was an idea, but not something I want to like take advantage of or anything like that. So, I'm kind of half glad it doesn't work. Or at least it doesn't seem to. Anyways, so can we make? How many do we need for 8 of these guys? We're missing a ton of iron and redstone. A ton of lead. That's a lie. And a ton of electrotine. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know why it wants to take this type instead. But it should not matter. So, solar panel. We'll need 63 of those. And yeah, so that, no, it now wants that lead. Alright, well, what I will do is I'll just continue making solar panels. Can we make one of these? We can. We actually have enough. It takes about 10,000 electrotine to make one of these guys. So, but it requires a lot of crafting CPUs. We don't have anything high enough, so we'll have to make better. And the way to do that is just to make the 64Ks. And these will take a little bit of time, but they're not that bad to make. So, that's what we'll kind of work towards. And if we can automate the solar panels, that'd be awesome, and that'll be kind of the plan from there. So, that being said, it is time to get to summoning some demons. Now, I think I am pretty much ready. Let's clear out our inventory just a little bit. So that's that chest. So we're gonna want a bunch of cobblestone, some safari nets, all this kind of stuff, all this stuff. We don't need, and we'll keep the ender pouch. We don't need that. We don't need that. But it makes things nicer. So we have a lot of things on us. You know, I realized the ender pouch might actually be useful. Do things disappear in here? Yes, but we can turn that off. Merely by breaking the import bus or moving this chest. Let's go ahead and move the chest, so that'll be easier for now. So we'll put that there. We're actually going to want the cobblestone first. We don't need this stuff. We're going to want this stuff first. Okay, so this way, all that stuff will kind of stay there because we're not extracting it or anything. And we need to take all of this stuff, all these crystal bell jars, all this alchemical stuff, and we're even going to take some levers. So, oops, wrong thing. And the last thing we need to do is grab the rest of our ritual stones, which are right down here. We don't need this ritual set up right now. And then we can head off somewhere very, 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 very far away. So I have never actually done this ritual before. This is the first time. And I actually went ahead. The mod maker for this mod, Blood Magic, mod maker's name is like Way of Time. They have a tutorial kind of walkthrough on this, and it is well, scary. So we're at basically 0-0. Let's go 1000Z. So we're gonna fly very, 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 very far away. Reason being is, well, to put it simply, we're gonna be summoning a demon city, and said demon city grows. And if we're not careful, really bad things can happen. You know what? I realize. Hold up. Let's go back. This way. So there is potential. I don't. Oh no, we have our mob farms there. I was like, wait, hold on. We could use the last millennium if we wanted to, but I don't necessarily want to, just because, well, there's our mob farm there. That's where we're keeping our mobs, and I don't really want to do anything with that. So we're just gonna fly really far out here. And the plan is we'll set up a little bit of a foundation of stuff. We're going to be as close to 1000, or let's go to like 1500. Let's be safe. This is not something you want to mess around with. The Demon City will destroy your base. And basically we're going to be making a portal for demons to freely come into this world. And once they do, there's gonna be a different type. There's like 4 different like types, I think. I know of at least 2. There might be up to 4. And ideally, we get one that's not hard to deal with. We do have draconic armor though, so it shouldn't be that bad. We have wyvern armor, but it's still good enough. Should be good enough. I hope we don't die. that is actually a concern. Because then we'd have to fly out here some other way. But basically, we're going to be summoning in demons, and this is going to be a very chaotic light show, as you guys will see soon enough. And these demons are going to drop either life or soul shards, probably a mixture of both. Each one we kill will drop one or the other, I think. I don't think they have the chance to drop both at the same time, but you kind of get the idea. So we're going to... There's 1,500. I highly suggest going very, 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 very far away from your base, like we just did. And we're going to just build out a little bit of a platform. And we'll leave the angel block there for right now, because that's where we're going to set our ritual stone. So this takes 2 stacks of ritual stones, and get rid of that for now. Let's go back this way a little bit. Alright, that looks decent. I guess let's go like 2 more this way. And like 1 more this way. Alright, so next thing we need to do is set down our master ritual stone. And I think what I want to do actually is break that. Break that and put that down. Alright, perfect. So let's see, we're gonna need in our bag lots of things. So let's grab this stuff, the ritual stones to begin with, and this is on the Well of Suffering. We want to get the Convocation of the Dam. It's really hard to tell what it says because of the draconic armor. There we go. That should be Convocation of the Dam. Alright, so now we're going to place 2 stacks of runes. And it's going to make this like really cool looking structure. And that is actually a really cool structure, I will say. I realize I don't have to continue right-clicking on that. So once we run out of both of the stacks of things, perfect. There is the structure, and it looks really cool. I cannot stress that enough. It's a really cool looking structure. Next we need to take, let's see, we can put this away. We don't need that anymore. Next we need to take all these crystal bell jars and place them on these. It does not matter where they go, so long as they're all up here and they're all filled. Next we need to set up the draining process. So we're gonna need this stuff. We're just gonna put these alchemical relays on these blocks, and we're gonna put some blocks around these. Now we're gonna lose pretty much every single block here. We're gonna have like a few ritual stones after we're done with this, but not many. So we can put redstone signals on these, and let's actually make it symmetrical, sorta. So we can put redstone signals on these, and they will not transfer stuff. Now this is the hard part, mostly because the alchemic router is a little bit fickle, and I can never remember how to use it. So let's take off our wyvern armor for a second. No, we want to clear this. So shift right click, right click, right click. Wait, no. I don't remember how to do this. Let's just break this. Hopefully it doesn't destroy it. No. Okay. This is the problem. All right, so I think it's connected. Shift right click air, shift click, click, and let's send this one to here. Shift click, click, click. Shift click, 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 shift click. I think this is working. Hopefully it is. So shift click, click, click. Shift click, click, click. Shift click. Okay, so hopefully that's working. It looks like it is. I mean, they all are sending particles. Except for you. Shift click, click, click. Okay. So let's make sure particles are all going there. Perfect. All right, now we get to send. So how you do that? You shift right click in the air to clear save container. If you shift right click on the bell jars, it sets it to the type. You right click, and then do that process over again. So right click, click, shift click. How do I switch it to the other one? So let's attune it to this. I guess that'll work. Right click. So shift right click, right click. And then shift right click, right click. Shift right click, right click. Shift right click, right click. Hopefully I'm doing this correctly. Shift right click, right click. And then shift right click, right click. So I think that's all of them. Because we have to power up this ritual stone. So the last thing we need to do, so hopefully that works and we don't have any problems. I'm going to keep that on me. Let's get rid of some of this cobblestone. We don't need all that on us, or the builder's wand. We'll keep our bow on us. We have our activation, and now we need this stuff. So first things first, blood altar goes on top. We're going to need that for later. Now, I am going to preemptively turn off ambient environment. That should be good enough. Actually, no, it might be under weather. Music and sounds, weather, let's take that down. Alright, so hopefully this is good enough. And hopefully this doesn't kill me or anything. So, we just right click that, and a rush of energy goes through. Now we can start sending all of this stuff in. And if we take a look, it's still really loud. Music and sound. Let's just send master volume way down. So if we take a look with our router thing, you'll see that this is getting a bunch of stuff. And these bell jars are emptying pretty quickly, actually. So there is an amazing lightning show that's going to happen. And yeah, this is just going to take a little bit of time. If anything doesn't go through, so we're almost out of Sanctus, which is nice. Incendium isn't going yet. Anything else? So that's empty. We're getting some Magicalis. Certain things only send so much through. But this is still getting stuff. It can only go through so much of these crystal bell jar stuff, the AR I believe it's called, so quickly. But relatively soon we will not have, we'll get rid of all of this stuff. If I need to like transfer anything more, we'll worry about that then, but that's out of, I think that was Incendium. The Aqua is still waiting. Alright, so shift right click, right click, right click, and shift right click, shift right click, right click, right click, right click, right click. Okay, so that's getting the earth at least. So shift right click. Is that sending? Okay, that is sending. So shift click, right click, right click. It has no container. So right click? No. Oh, as much as I don't want to do this, I hope this doesn't mess anything up. Are you empty yet? Yes. So the only one we're waiting on is that one. So let's try to pick up the alchemical relay. Now these are not needed. So shift click, right click, right click. Why isn't this working? Can we just send it directly? Right click. Oh man, I don't want this to mess up or anything. Let's see, right click. It says no connections remaining. I hope this doesn't mess things up. Right click. And then transmitting this. Tuned, right click, right click. Come on. There we go. So finally, this is draining the aqua. And the last thing we need to do, so hopefully this all works, is once this is emptied, which let's just do something like this. So once this is emptied, the alchemic router stuff is very unintuitive. So once this is empty, all we have to do is sacrifice a demon on the altar, and that will summon the demon stuff. So this is still getting stuff. Very soon it will be done. So it's done there. It is done there. By the way, these transfer 20 per tick of the alchemical stuff, whereas this thing consumes 50 per tick, so it's always better. Anyways, we should be able to summon a demon, and that's exactly what we wanted to see. Alright, so real quick, I'm going to turn my volume back up, and we'll get some explosions. It'll be cool. And there we go. So this is going to take some time to do anything. But this demon portal will slowly, very, very slowly, create, well, demons, basically. It's effectively an altar. We don't want to mess with any of this. We can take our runes back, what's left of them, but as you can clearly see, we lost a lot of the stuff. I'm not too worried about the runes though. I'll probably keep the ones I can't easily reach. But now the problem. We're going to have to kind of wait around here for quite a while until demons spawn. So that is going to take some time. But once we get just a few, we should be able to capture them, or at least I'm hoping, in either a safari net or a... let's see, let's put this stuff away. We don't need that now. We should be able to capture them in either a safari net or a soul vial. I'm hoping a safari net because that would make my life a lot easier, but soul vial would also be acceptable. So I will tell you guys what, for right now, I am going to just kind of hang out here until we get some stuff to spawn, and then we'll come back and see what we can do with them and go from there. So I just kind of want to remind you guys why we're doing this. Well, these guys give us soul crystals and life crystals, or soul shards rather. Soul shards and life shards, which we're gonna need. Life shards and soul shards both are required to make the crystal clusters, which are in turn used, to make primordial pearls duplicated. So it's gonna take some time. Looks like mobs are gonna spawn. Now, something else we could do is claim these chunks, and I could go ahead and, unfortunately I made it at a chunk border, as in like it's on two different chunks, but we could also probably chunk load this one specifically. I think it's... Is it this one? So if we remove the other one, this should be wilderness. This is not. Yes. So this should allow us to kind of hang out at our home, and it would still kind of do stuff. But I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, this might take some time, so I will be right back once we start getting some demons spawning. So, be right back. Alright, so sometime later, I left this on for a couple of hours, and I've got some bad news. So, our altar changed. That's not the bad news. That looks really cool, by the way. This is the second stage of the, like, demon portal. But unfortunately, there's no demons at all. So I've expanded the platform. I was mistaken about something that I thought. So the demons won't generate their own platform at all. They actually need land to build on. So I gave them land and they never built. I have an idea of why. I tried it at different heights. There is some places that have different thicknesses. And even like I have this area under here. There's so many mobs spawning over here because we are far enough away from the base, but that we're hitting mob cap. But nothing's spawning. So yeah, I let this set for hours. This is actually a couple days later than the last clip, but there was a little bit of moss stone. So I think what happened was when the portal formed, it tried to make a road, and it made a road, but the road was only like 2 blocks. It was 1 block long, and I think what happened is I tried to look into the code. The code for the demon summoning, the demon invasion, is incredibly complicated. It is, I believe, open source, or at least the code is out there, willingly out there, so you can read it if you want, if you know how to read code. I sort of do, but it was really complicated, so I don't know for sure. But I have a funny feeling that it tried to generate a road, and when the road didn't generate past like 1 block, it couldn't generate anything else because it wanted to generate it off of that road, and there was no space to do so. So I think that's probably what happened. So what do we do? Well, I really don't want to gather up all the materials and get all the blood, specifically the blood. The blood is the pain. Not so much any of the other stuff. All the rest of the stuff is pretty easy. So I decided, I made an executive decision to say, you know what, let's just load up a backup. So that's what I've done. Actually, the closest backup I had was a little bit farther back. I was still at my base. I was about 1.5 million blood LP away from having the 15 million. And so I came out here, I built another demon portal summoning ritual thing, a nice big area, and we can go ahead and get this started. So the volume is already off, and full disclosure, I actually tried this once already. It didn't work, so here's what we're going to do. Rush through the ritual. Let's start getting this stuff in. And I had problems with this guy before, so we'll see if we do. That's why I have the alchemic cleanser. But this is basically the same. This is the same save. It's just I loaded a backup, and this is actually a second backup that I made because the first time it didn't work. What an amazing thing! So we just get to go through this whole ritual again. So one of the things is already done. What is it currently taking? Magicalis. So we'll just set through this. It's not that bad, and hopefully this time there's enough area that when the demon portal spawns, we'll be able to get actual demons. And let's see, who is draining? You are, Terra. So yeah, the Master Ritual Stone. Wow, I try to combine those words. It absorbs 50 per 50 of the stuff, the reagents per tick, whereas the relays send 20 per tick. So looks like most of them are going, and this one is not. Alright, so let's see if we can't submit Potentia as well. Perfect. And you are still sending. Perfect. So this one we might still have problems with. It is linked to here, I do believe. But this guy is still getting stuff. And yeah, I had messed this up before, so I have to do it again. And it is transmitting everything. Cool. So this should be done here in just a second. So it looks like everything's going to work. Awesome. So once this is done with the gray stuff, I don't actually remember which one that is, we should get our demon portal, and hopefully we'll get some demons this time. I'm really hopeful. We only need a couple, and then we're going to try, we'll do some experiments on them. But no, so the big structure you saw before was different than the stone block structure we had at the beginning, or the end of the last clip, before I cut away. And the reason for that is just, alright, so that should be everything. You were no longer getting anything. These guys are all empty. Alright, I think it's just waiting for our demon. So let's go ahead and sacrifice a demon. Perfect. So now we're going to get the explosions. Awesome, so it worked. I'm not going to touch anything. But so we're going to get this stone block structure first. That is a tier 1 portal, and there is a road. So hopefully sooner rather than later we'll get a building, and in the building demons can summon. So can spawn rather. But yeah, so I'm not going to touch anything. This will probably take a little bit of time, but it has more area to actually kind of grow. So this is a decent sized road. It should work, hopefully. But the other structure you saw is basically just a tier 2. Right there it grew. Awesome. But it is a tier 2 portal, which is cool, but it's really cool looking. And there is our first little area. Awesome. So I think it is actually working. Now the question is, can we get some demons to spawn? We are also going to get something a little unexpected. We're going to get loot, including iridium shards, which is really, really, really nice, because iridium is a pain to collect. So if we grow this village, this demon invasion more and more, we should theoretically get a ton of iridium from this. I mean, this is iridium shards. This is almost 4 pieces of iridium, and that takes forever for me to make. So we're gonna just sit and wait and watch for a little bit, and we should get some demons here soon. There will be issues where it will leak to the void, but that's okay. So yeah, the demon portal is working, and there is our first demon. It looks like we have wind demons. And, ooh, ice demons. Oh, cool. So we have an ice demon grunt. We'll take him back to the base in just a moment and see what he's capable of. But hey, okay, technically third try, but third try's a charm. It finally worked. So we'll just kind of wait around, see if we can't get a couple more demons. Worst case scenario, if we want this to continue generating in this area, these like invasions do get very large, up to like 500 blocks by 500 blocks square around this, so 500 blocks in every direction. They can look really cool. That would require a ton of cobblestone to build up an area, but yeah, like we could do some stuff. There's a couple of things I want to try. I want to see if we can get a soul. I don't know if we can get a soul of these ice demons, but there is another building. Has an underground section, so let's just go underground. And we can just dig right in here. There's a chest. We have some stuff. Nothing I really want. Let's actually go ahead and music sound, put this back up. That was the only thing I changed, really, so cool. So the bigger the village, the better off we'll be. Let's grab one of these guys in a soul vial. We could always make a powered spawner with these guys. And I've heard, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard rumors that, ooh, another building, cool. So the more that these guys are going to build, the better off we'll be. We can get plenty of loot, which is nice. And I mean, there's even an anvil in there, wow. So these are relatively lucrative. I mean, it's just standard dungeon loot, but at the same time, like, we can get a lot of stuff we can't get easily otherwise from dungeon loot. So it's kind of nice. But yeah, like, we can keep this running. If we wanted to chunk load this area, it would build out while we're away. But the way the demon portal works is it kind of prioritizes whether it's building or spawning in demons, depending on what you do. And you can even get some life shards from this stuff. And the soul shards, but you can get a little bit of both. I like that disc. We're going to take that disc. I like that one. Weight's probably like my favorite of the music discs. But yeah, so it'll kind of bounce back and forth whether it's spawning in demons or whether it is spawning in buildings and whatnot. So it built another road. And this is actually a fairly quick process, which is nice. But if the auto spawning options don't work, for whatever reason, we will be able to kind of deal with that in other ways. Now, I haven't seen these guys actually attack. I'm a little terrified of that, to be honest. I don't want bad things to happen, but okay, I think that's good enough. So we need to go back home. I know this episode's probably going to get pretty long. I actually don't know how much time I've spent so far on this because I stopped keeping track of the time. But because oh man, this has been an episode to record. This has been probably one of the worst ones in a while. Just because the finickiness of the summon, the convocation of the dam, the ritual, is a little bit. Well, it's a little bit frustrating to deal with. So let's get back to our base. And the demons should never get close enough to our base to really worry about it. We could summon in more demon villages if we wanted to, but there's no real reason for us to. If we want more demons, we can just spawn them in, theoretically. And, I mean, yeah, we'll kind of see what happens. But I know a lot of people like to do the demon invasion in either another dimension or sometimes they'll do it in like the last millennium. And when I say another dimension, I mean like Dimlet dimension. We don't have access to those. The dimension builder is disabled, and we're already using the last millennium, so I didn't want to use that for summoning in more demons. But we're gonna head back to the base, and I don't feel too bad about using a backup. Like I said, we could have easily, well, okay, we could have easily gotten all the stuff back, made the ritual stones and all that kind of stuff that we needed, got the blood, and basically retried the demon summon like we just did. But the problem was it was going to take forever, and I didn't really want to wait around on 15 million blood. So it was easier just to go ahead and load a backup. Always make backups, especially right before you do that one, just so you can do the same. I highly recommend that, because that ritual is just, it's very finicky, and if you mess it up, good luck to you. So we have some demons, and what I want to do, first of all, the life shards. We can make living braces, glyph of the adept enchanter, runic, soul runic plates, which is the spell system. I don't plan on getting into the spell system at all. We need it for the crystal clusters. And are these used for anything? That's the spell system. Nope. Okay, so the only thing we're going to be using these life shards for is the crystal clusters. How about the soul shards? Or soul crystals, whatever. Same difference. I guess they are called soul shards. Same. So the crystal clusters are what's important, and these things are also used to duplicate the primordial pearls. So we'll want a good bit of these. We can also get a transcendent blood orb. We're going to need at least 4, plus enough to duplicate the primordial pearls. So a lot of stuff that we're going to need, but that's fine. Also, by the way, with the backup, I did go ahead and I replaced a lot of the stuff. I went ahead and remade the solar panel stuff, or at least I was working on it. I don't know. No, I made the pattern and all that kind of stuff. So everything we did at the beginning of this episode, we still have technically done. We have 6 iridium. Cool. Let's go over here. I do believe we have a compressor, which should take things out. Okay, that's just blacklisted, so should put those in here. Cool. We should have more iridium. Awesome. So it's not much iridium, but it's enough. We only have 104, so we could always use more. Anyways, we're going to put these guys in here. I'll clean up my inventory and all that kind of stuff later. But for right now, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and see if we can't summon in some ice demons. So we're going to take this away and our flowers away. Just because we're not looking to kill anything right now. Or have anything kill themselves or anything like that. So let's go ahead and turn that on. We'll put this guy away. And Ice Demon Grunt. Now these guys are fairly powerful. They also sound like wolves for some reason. We're getting... Oh, I was afraid of that. Spawn exact copy. So these guys are giving us demon summon things. Which is not necessarily what we want. We want the life shards. So if we spawn an exact copy... we're still getting We're still getting the demon crystals. Which we can't seem to use. So that does not work. Also, it looks really dark in here. That's weird. Alright, so that doesn't work. So we might need to do a soul. We might need to do a powered spawner. That would be the next thing to try. We got 9 of those. So if we grab this stuff, we can put all that stuff away. That's fine. We'll need to make a powered spawner. But in order to do this, we'll also need a broken spawner. But we can make one of those. That's not too bad. So we just need some dark steel. We can make a broken spawner. And then can we... Oh wait, no, wrong thing. This is a soul binder. 15 levels. Alright, I think we can handle that. Let's retrieve our 15 levels. And it feels like it got a little bit of lag. That's weird. See, the powered spawner. What do we need? We need electrical steel. We need a machine chassis. We need 2 vibrant crystals, which I do believe are auto-craftable. And we need a Z-Logic controller. So we are going to need Solarium, Zombie Head. We don't have enough of those. What else is it? I don't remember. Is it redstone and silicon? Yes. Redstone and silicon. Alright, so all of this stuff should be pretty quick and easy. This is going to take a little bit of time. Slice and splice. I only grabbed 1 silicon. Do we have any capacitors? How bad would it be to make an octa-capacitor? We can do that. Alright, so silicon. We haven't used the soul binder all that much, so that's why it's kind of awful. Let's just take this one out for right now. That should help speed it up quite considerably. I mean, this takes 2.5 million RF, so it makes sense that it's kind of slow. But we should have everything else we need for the powered spawner. We're just waiting on the electrical steel, which is not crafting for some reason. Where's the electrical steel supposed to be at? It probably is struggling to put those into the machine. Up. What is... My frame rate feels like really slow. It might just be me. Alright, so I think we have the issue with the electrical steel again. Anyways, let's grab refined iron and silicon. And then our capacitor. And we should be able to make this just right in here. Can we not use this for of course it is. Occasionally the recipes break. So electrical steel, how are we supposed to make it with iron and pulverized? Coal, we can handle that. So yes, occasionally the recipes will break. It's not a big deal. Just kind of annoying. So we'll wait on that. There we go. Let's go ahead and make these guys real quick. And I just want to see if the powered spawner will work. So that is promising. We can put our soul vial away. So the only other question is, where do we hook this up at? And I mean, obviously just right here is fine. We could probably get another... Oh my gosh, I hate my chickens. We could probably get another redstone energy conduit, flux duct, whatever, and use that. So do we have the electrical steel? There we go. But yeah, occasionally the recipes break. I don't know why. This pack is a little inconsistent sometimes with that, but that's understandable. And then finally, we just need to combine these. Those are 30 levels. So combine with a broken spawner. We get that. Now all the other stuff was just kind of phantom blocks, so we can just put this right here. And we're going to need a lever and another capacitor. So let's get the capacitor crafting up. And you know what, let's just make a bunch. Okay, let's make just a few levers. It's always good to have a couple of extra levers. Okay, that's a lot of guys. Active without signal. And it doesn't work. Okay, let's try one more thing. Let's grab a different sword. So I'll have to look into kind of the best way to do this. Don't we have another sword somewhere? We could just use our bows. We can use both bows. We'll see which one works. But these guys are very, like, angry. They'll also, like, they'll do some decent damage. We'll just try to shoot these guys and see if that changes anything. Let's just move that there. And it didn't. Alright, so I will have to investigate the best way to deal with these guys and get more crystals and not demon crystals. So I will look into that between episodes, and the next time we will, honestly, I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll figure out some stuff to do. I did go ahead and make all of the awakened draconium, not awakened draconium, but the draconic infused obsidian. So it's time to set up the next farm for that. And we'll start working towards the advanced Galgadorian metal and all that fun stuff. But I'm going to do some research into what I can do with these guys. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!